Top-ranked social media feeds. The table is packed for an absolute cracker this Saturday night. This is real boxing. This is a proper fight. This is everything that boxing is about. Unified World Light Heavyweight Champion Artur Beterbiev in this country defends his crown, his 3 belts, against Britain's Anthony Yarde, the mandatory challenger. The fight is brought to you by Queensberry Promotions in association with Top Rank. We are live on BT Sport and ESPN Plus in America. As you can see, we've got up here the promoters that help make the fight. We've got the trainers that will lay out the game plan for the fight. And we've got the fighters who will fight the fight this Saturday night. Do not miss this. Let's have a chat. Let's start with Frank, of course, of Queensberry. Frank, a truly magnificent fight, a momentous night to start off the year for Queensberry. Talk to us.
Which certainly is. But first of all, I'd like to welcome my good friend Bob Arum from Top Rank. This is 38 years ago. This month we did Don Curry and Colin Jones in Birmingham. So that's 38 years ago. That was the first world title fight we did together. But look at this, 38 years later, we're delivering between us a fight between 2 big punching fighters. We also can box as well. And this is going to be something, I believe, really special. We welcome, obviously, Artur and his team for coming over to defend his titles. And I just feel we're going to be in for something extremely special on the night. And I, as a boxing fan, can't wait to see it. This is going to be a real bust-up.
From your perspective, Frank, tell us about Anthony Yarde, how you've seen him grow as a character from a debutant to a man on the cusp of challenging for the World Unified titles.
Well, Anthony was brought to my attention by Tunde, who's been a friend and I've known for long years as an amateur, and he was setting the scene alight. He had, I think it was 11 fights as an amateur and a big KO record in all of them. I liked what I see. When I met him, I thought he was just an extremely nice young man, and he wants to box. You know, he's worked very hard to get where he's at, considering the experience he's had. He doesn't shy away from anything. Any fights we've ever wanted to make, he doesn't care who it is. He says, I'll be there, that's it. He didn't shy away when we made the first world title fight for him in Russia against Kovalev. And it's a fight he should have truly won. A bit more experience, he would have won that. That was my choice, and I sort of got him to go there, but I believe with more experience he would have won that fight. And that tells you a lot about him. He was prepared to go there, to the other guy's backyard. Anthony Yarde, going to the other guy's backyard is what he did, and he went out there and it was brilliant how he performed, and he was so close to winning that title. I think he's learned a lot from that. I think the whole team has learned a lot from that fight, and I genuinely believe that he has the tools to, what the bookmakers will say will be an upset, but I genuinely think he's got the tools to do it. He's got the composure, he can box, he's got fast movement, and more importantly, he can punch. And I think he can match Artur in the punching department. You know, his record is 88% knockouts against Artur, who's 18-0. All knockouts, which is the best record of any champion in the world at the moment. So I think this is going to be an outstanding fight, and I really thank Bob and Top Rank and the team for helping to make this happen and helping to get this fight in this country.
Frank, let me ask you this. You just mentioned it there, talking about getting the fight in this country. You have secured home advantage for Anthony Yarde. It's something that you've done in the past. Ricky Hatton, Kostya Tszyu. Are there sort of echoes of fights like that? Why is it so important to get home advantage for your man?
Well, I think anybody likes the home advantage. I think the thing about most of the Eastern European fighters, they go on the road, they fight on the road. And obviously, you know, he settles down there in Canada. But the fact of the matter for me is that if you can get a home advantage, and you know, I always try to do that. It's not always successful in achieving that, but we have got home advantage, and I believe the fans and the crowd will get behind him, and it spurs people on a bit. You know, when you've got the fans behind you.
Thank you, Frank. Let's speak to Hall of Fame. By the way, you know it's a big fight when you've got 2 Hall of Fame boxing promoters up here. Let's bring in Bob Arum. Big fight, for your man Artur Beterbiev defending his unified crown on Saturday. Tell us how you're feeling heading into this one.
Well, I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, there are fighters today who are known for their power. The two heavyweights, particularly Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, the lighter weight guys like Inoue and Terence Crawford. But I think pound for pound, the biggest puncher in boxing today is the guy on my right, who has knocked out every opponent that has been put in front of him, not because he is not a good boxer, because he is a very good boxer, but he also has that magic that you can't really train a fighter for. It's instinctive, the ability to punch and knock out an opponent. So I'm very happy to be here. I know that Anthony Yarde, I followed him, terrific fighter, also with a big punch. So this should be a very, very exciting kind of fight.
Been speaking to Artur this week, and he's kept his cards very close to his chest. He's not given much away in terms of how he's going to approach the fight. I think I've got an idea, but how do you think the fight's going to play out, Bob?
Well, again, that depends a lot on Anthony. If Anthony's going to go out and fight Artur like Joe Smith did, then the fight will end early. If he boxes a bit with Artur, the fight will end in the late to middle rounds. But again, with all due respect to Yarde, Artur, I believe, will emerge the winner.
Was there any hesitation to come over to the UK, to come into, as Frank said, the backyard of Yarde, or did Artur Beterbiev just say yes, no problem?
No problem, because I've been around this game for a long time, and the big test for me was when Artur fought Joe Smith, because we did that fight in New York where Smith has a tremendous following, and they cheered and they yelled and they screamed, and what did that do? It incentivized Smith to take the fight to Yarde, which was to take the fight to Artur, and that was a big mistake, because Artur knocked out Smith in 2 rounds. So hopefully Yarde will be excited by his fans and go after Beterbiev, and hopefully the fight will end in a few rounds rather than in more rounds.
Thank you, Bob. Let's bring in from Team Yarde trainer and manager Tunde Ajayi. Tunde, you've been on this journey since the very start. You are on the cusp of challenging for 3 of the 4 world titles. Tell us your thoughts heading into Saturday night.
First and foremost, mic check. First and foremost, thank you to all the press, the media, everyone who's in attendance today. Secondly, let me just thank the man, the myth, the promoter, the person that really has delivered on all counts from the very beginning, and that's Mr. Frank Warren. I feel that no one ever gives him his props, but Tunde Ajayi today is doing that because he's just done everything for us, done everything for Anthony, and again, not many people get the opportunity to fight for 2 world titles, and the first time it was for 1 belt, and this time it's for 3 belts. So we've obviously done something, or Frank has done something right. So let me just start off by thanking Frank for that. Secondly, what I've realized is through my experience, it's not a trainer's job to talk. Because I'm good at talking, and I've done that sometimes to my detriment, sometimes positively. It works out positive, but it's not my job to talk. All I will say is this. In Tottenham, at the first press conference, Mr. Beterbiev asked us to be ready. Saturday night, you be ready. Thank you very much.
Tunde, just before, I just want to get something from you. In that, there was a teenager that walked into your gym all those years ago, and here he is sat about to challenge for the world title. What has that journey been like, and how does it make you feel being sat here?
It's just a beautiful feeling. You know, for me, it's always trying to lead an example, and I feel that from the background and the area and the life that Anthony has come from, he just deserves all the respect, and that was part of the reason why I was, you know, so vocal early on, because I'm like, what, can't you lot, why aren't you giving this boy the respect that he deserves? But I realize again that, you know, you can say whatever, people will have something to say, but for me personally, I just feel that he's just a wonderful young man. I never heard him say nothing negative about anybody. He respects every opponent, as you're supposed to do in such a challenging sport. And he's my hero. I've learned a lot from Anthony. Yeah, trust me. I've learned a lot from him because, you know, it's difficult for somebody to take the advice of another, especially when they're younger than you. But through our journey, through his journey, it's just made me calm. And believe me, I'm ready. He's ready. And again, thank you for this opportunity, Frank. You're the man. Always been the man, in my eyes. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Tunde. Let's bring in Team Beterbiev, Mark Ramsey. Mark, Tunde has said that be ready, basically, to Artur and to you guys. Tell us your thoughts heading into Saturday night.
Hi, everybody. First, I would like to thank Top Rank and Queensberry to give us the opportunity to present Artur to the UK's fan Saturday night. Listen, we know Anthony Yarde from a long time. I look at all light heavyweight from their beginning until they reach the level of my fighter. And I know he's a good fighter. He's a complete fighter. Like, he's fast, he's powerful, he can box, he can counterpunch. But we get ready for all those elements in the training camp. We have a very productive training camp. We reach every single objective that would fix before the training camp. We have no excuse, no injury, nothing. We're just ready to perform and to give the fan what they want to see.
What are the biggest challenges for you in this fight?
You mean in the style of...
Yeah.
Listen, I don't want to explain too much because I will give you the direction that we want to take for that fight. But like I say, he's a complete fighter. We have a lot of respect for him. Like, we have a lot of respect for every opponent that we face. But the job was done in the gym, and we are ready for what he can bring to the table. We'll see if he's ready for what we bring to the table.
I've got a couple more questions for you, Mark. The first one is, after the Joe Smith fight, after the unification, a lot of the talk was about an undisputed fight with Bivol. That didn't happen next. It's Anthony Yarde. You're coming over to the UK for that. Is this almost an inconvenient fight?
No, at all. Right now, we don't have any contract. We don't have nothing. It's only Anthony Yarde. End of story.
Okay, and look, I asked Artur Beterbiev at the launch press conference, I said to him, why is it that you are the only man, the only world champion in boxing with a 100% knockout rate? And he said, you'll have to ask my trainer. Hi, Mark. Why is this guy the only world champion with a 100% knockout rate?
Listen, I know everybody wants to talk about that. Everybody has questions about this, but this is really not the focus that we have as a team. Like, we work with Artur to get ready for fight the best way we can. Power is power. Power is there, but this is not the main objective for us. It's not the focus. We don't put the focus on that.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Well, let's bring in Anthony Yarde, the challenger. Anthony, I guess all the work is done, and now we are just hours away from the big one. Tell us your thoughts. Tell us how you're feeling.
Thank you everyone for being here, all the media, all the press. Big Frank, I call him, Bob Arum, the Beterbiev team, you Dev, Big Unks. I'm excited.
There's like a knowing energy about you this time. And even Tunde as well, he's been more muted this time. It feels like you know something that everyone else perhaps doesn't. Is that the feeling?
I don't think no one's a psychic and anyone knows anything. It's just, again, a good feeling. It's part of my journey. Happy to be here. And everyone knows the kind of character I am. I'm very calm. I jump on opportunities. And again, sometimes you go through certain things in your journey to strengthen you. You go through certain things in your journey to prepare you as well. So that's what I keep saying. I'm so excited.
You said something to me yesterday about this time, this title shot, it feels earned. And maybe the first one, it wasn't quite the same. Tell me more about that.
I don't know. The first one, again, I was very, they say green. You know, I was 18 fights in, a big novice in the sport. I just had something, I had heart. And I went out to Russia, which no one else, I don't care what no one says, everyone can talk and say they would. But I went out to Russia, Chile and Binsk, somewhere that's not even known. I don't even know if it was map. It wasn't Moscow or nothing like that. Very different experience. And a lot of things happened leading up to the fight. But I said, you know, I just got that mentality. Once you get in the ring, we'll see. But again, all that don't really matter. All it is, my preparation is going to be different. I've learned since then as well. Different kind of fighter. Different life experiences. And yeah, I'm ready for Saturday.
You're the underdog in this fight. That's no secret. How does that make you feel? Does it make you smile? Do you care? Like, what do you prefer it?
I feel like I'm always smiling. I'm happy to be alive. Happy to be at this stage in my life as well. Being an underdog, overdog, middle dog, it don't matter to me. I'm a dog. When I get in that ring and I start throwing my hands about, everyone knows what I can be like. So all that underdog stuff don't really matter to me. And if you want to say if it does anything to me, it gives me that little push, that little urge. But again, it's expected. I'm not. He's got an 18 fight, 18 win, 18 knockout ratio. Olympian. He's done a lot in the sport, and that's why he should be respected. That's why I've respected him this far. But as I said before, when we get in the ring, I'm surely he will be saying the same thing. There's no respect. You try and take the respect away from your opponent. So I understand why the bookies have got it like that, understandably. And again, that's what edges me on.
All right, well, let's bring in Artur Beterbiev at this point, the unified world light heavyweight champion. Artur, you've heard from Anthony there. He says that there will be no respect when the first bell rings, plenty of respect beforehand. Tell us how you feel just 2 days away. Oh, the alarm's gone. Tell us how you feel 2 days away from this big fight.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, I feel good, not bad.
Thanks. At what point do you turn into the monster? Because this has all been very, very respectful, very calm. You've been cool and calm all week. Is it tomorrow? Is it when the first bell rings? Has it happened now? When does it happen?
I hope in 28th of January.
It's a Saturday night.
Yeah, like, I'm really like, change a little bit.
At the first press conference, I asked you what you thought of Anthony Yarde, and you hadn't watched much footage at that time. You said he's a good fighter, he looks strong, and he looks like a bodybuilder. So now that you have seen more of Anthony Yarde, what do you think? Is there any more to say?
I said because he looks like muscle, and like bodybuilder. I don't have like this muscle, I'm not like bodybuilder. It's not it's not for like say that for bad like something. I say like he's looks like stronger.
Anthony, your thoughts on these bodybuilder comments? I mean, it's a compliment, right?
Yeah, I feel like I'm chiseled, you know. Got abs.
What did I?
Train hard. You know, he's in shape as well. Give him that. But yeah, it's good.
It's a nice thing to say. Artur, tell me this. Are you expecting a tough fight on Saturday?
What expecting? Can you repeat?
A tough fight?
You know, in our camp, we always try to be ready for some different scenarios, you know. And if it's tough fight, we're gonna be ready. If it's like, you know, whatever.
You always say that you just like to go about your work. This is just your job. You just want to do your job, do your work. On Saturday, do you want to do your job quickly?
Why you want to be angry between us? You think we're not fighting?
That's what he gets paid for.
Huh? You think we're not fighting on Saturday?
I certainly don't want to fight either of you, but I would like to know if you think that you can do the job quickly on Saturday.
I try to do my best, you know.
Well, there you have it. Artur Beterbiev has terrified the life out of me in the build-up to this. Anthony, tell me this. How much does this fight mean to you? How much does this moment mean to you on Saturday?
I feel like it's obvious. That's going to mean the world to me. 3 belts, legacy and history. Again, I'm a very person. I'm happy that it's him. I'm happy that it's 3 belts. It just makes it all that much better. It feels like it's going to feel like it's earned. It's not no easy way out. There's a lot of fighters that get a mandatory world title, or they get someone that, oh yeah, they're meant to beat them, they're the A side, etc. I like this route. This route gives me the goosebumps, it gives me the good feeling. And it's the journey. The journey is what makes me happy.
There's a saying that the higher the climb, the better the view. How much do Artur Beterbiev's accomplishments, his belts, his record, everything that he's achieved, how much does that hype you up and get you even more amped up for this fight?
I just said it. I literally just said it. That's the best part of this whole thing. The fact that it's him. Again, we've met before. I don't know if you remember. He was in the Olympics, 2012. This is when I first started. I was in the gym from like late 2011. And the whole Russian team come down to TKO boxing gym in Camden Town. And I remember there was a picture that resurfaced. And I said, hold on, I know that face. That's that Beterbiev guy. So yeah, it's like a full circle.
Artur, do you remember meeting a young Anthony Yarde?
No, because I'm boxer, you know, I sometimes forget. You know anecdote about boxers? You know why boxers drive fast? So no forget for where are you going to get. That's why I'm not remember. But I see a photo with together. One photo I saw, but I don't remember.
How was your birthday? You turned 38 over the weekend. Spent it over in this country as well. Did you just train, or did you have any sneaky cake?
Birthday is past finish. I think I had 2 training on my birthday. It's good birthday. It was good birthday.
One of the things at the first press conference, it was discussed about your speed. You promised Anthony Yarde that you will try to be fast. So you've been away, you've been in camp. Are we talking to a faster fighter? Are you even faster than Anthony Yarde?
I just say that I don't prepare it for being fast. I try to be like I usually, you know. That's it. For me, that's it.
All right, look, Anthony, I'm going to come to you. 3.5 years ago, you had a world champion in all sorts of trouble, and you didn't finish the job that night. If you get this world champion in all sorts of trouble, do you feel better placed to finish the job on Saturday?
We'll see on Saturday.
Okay, we will see on Saturday. Artur, your final chance to give a message to Anthony Yarde. Last time you told him be ready. Anything you'd like to say to him?
No. You know, I don't want to talk a lot, you know.
Okay. Well, good thing I talk a bit. I mean, guys, it's been a wonderful press conference, I think. Let's get some final words from the promoters ahead of a big show on Saturday night. Bob, sign us off after what you've heard here today. Just give us your final thoughts on this fight.
Like my fighter here, I have nothing further to say.
He's got nothing further to say, just like his fighter. Fantastic. Frank, let's get a final word from the Anthony Yarde side of the table. Sign us out.
We've got plenty to say. This is going to be a good fight. It's going to be an excellent fight. You've got two guys in there who don't give an inch, and something will have to give at the end of the day. I think we're going to see a classic fight, and I believe Anthony Yarde will come out with those 3 belts. And we will find out on Saturday whether I'm right or wrong.
Fantastic stuff. We are going to do some face-offs here. We have reinforced the table after what happened last month, and we will see you on Saturday night. A huge fight. The unified World Light Heavyweight titles on the line. Artur Beterbiev defending against Anthony Yarde, live on BT Sport in the UK and ESPN Plus in America. Join us tomorrow afternoon for the weigh-in, and we'll see you Saturday night for the big one. Thank you.
This is my jungle. The belts, the legacy, the history. That's what I'm in the game for. I don't fear no one. Lions ain't got no choice but to hunt if they're going hungry. This is bigger than pay-per-view, and you BT Sports fans deserve this. Someone's getting knocked out. Beterbiev Yarde, it's Fight Night Live, only on BT Sport.
Right, face off. Sorry, can we have a look at the cameras as you Beterbiev, please? So go next to the right, look at the cameras first. Or go next face off. Okay, Artur. To the cameras, please. Thanks very much, guys.